Welcome to these unconditional self-love affirmations for women. These affirmations are especially designed for all you amazing women to remind you of the unconditional love and beauty that is already within you. These affirmations will uplift, support, and guide you towards self-appreciation, self-compassion, and knowing your true worth. To feel the full benefits of these compelling affirmations, find a quiet place where you can be comfortable. Simply listen and focus your full attention on each affirmation and let their soothing power wash over you. Know that you are supported and loved. Let's begin. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I am kind to myself. When I care about how I feel. When I make feeling good my top priority. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I appreciate my natural desire for well-being. When I consciously focus on my well-being, no matter what is happening around me. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I intentionally take care of myself first. When I'm attentive to my own needs. When I express how I truly feel and what I truly want, even though it may not please others. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I praise myself. When I recognize my inner and outer beauty. When I let go of what doesn't serve me. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I am supportive of myself, when I make myself laugh, when I tap into my own source of warmth and comfort. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I am my own best friend. When I am gentle with myself. When I take good care of my body. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I listen to what my body and my emotions are telling me. When I intentionally focus on different thoughts just to feel better. When I remember that when I reach for better feeling thoughts, I experience true freedom. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I recognize my ability to feel, follow, and trust my intuition. When I respond peacefully. When I walk away to maintain my own peace. When I follow what feels best to me. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I nurture my ability to love and be loved. When I nurture my ability to see the best in myself. When I nurture my ability to appreciate my journey. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I nurture my ability to grow from all my relationships and life experiences. When I nurture my ability to appreciate the person I have become. When I nurture my ability to appreciate the person I continue to become. When I nurture my ability to remember that the more I appreciate all that I am, the more life will reflect it back to me. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I give myself the gift of understanding. When I give myself the gift of patience. When I give myself the gift of forgiveness. When I give myself the gift of compassion. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I give myself the gift of acceptance. When I give myself the gift of kindness. When I give myself the gift of inner peace. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I choose to be a positive influence. When I set healthy boundaries and recognize that it's a reflection of self-respect. When I remember that my worth and value does not depend on anything or anyone. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I understand that I was born with everything I need. When I remember that I am enough. When I remember that I am already complete. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I recognize that I have the power to create my own reality with my thoughts and my emotions. When I choose positive perspectives to release resistance. When I remember that I am a vibrational magnet for all my desires. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I recognize that there is nothing I need to do, prove, or be in order to feel my inner source of love. When I remember that my inner source of love is the only love that will truly fulfill me. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I recognize that when I tap into my inner source of love, I feel beautiful, joyful, confident, energetic, excited, loving, and radiant. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I recognize that my passions, talents, and desires are what makes me unique. When I remember that I was born to authentically express who I truly am. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I feel appreciation for all the inspirational women who have led the way. When I am thankful for the opportunity to choose to do the same for other women and the next generation of women. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I remember that listening to my own inner voice is the only guidance I will ever need. When I feel the soothing relief and transformative power of my own unconditional self-love. I can feel my unconditional self-love when I remember that I am love. Thank you. I love you.